Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be doing a quick video on a specific list of tools that are an absolute must-have for an apprentice lineman that's new to the trade, or any lineman for that matter. You see a lot of tools and equipment that we use in our videos here, and if you're getting into the trade looking to buy some new tools, last thing I want you guys to do is run around buying stuff like this guy that's going to cost you thousands of dollars. A lot of employers, a lot of utilities especially, will provide you any tools that you require while on the job. If, however, you're starting up with a new company and they tell you to show up with your hook and belt and set of tools, there is a very specific set of tools that you will need to buy. And that's pretty much going to be what you can fit on your tool belt. Something else I did want to mention is you don't want to go to your local hardware shop and just buy any old do-it-yourselfer hammer and set of wrenches. You want to buy tools that are specifically designed for linemen. They're a lot more rugged, they're designed differently, they're built to last. The tools we're going to be taking a look at today are all Milwaukee tools. That's my personal preference. There's a few excellent companies that make tools out there. That being said, in the description of this video, I will list an exact link to each and every tool that we're going to see here today. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at, take a quick shot of my belt here. Pretty standard tool belt. So first thing we're going to look at, most guys know this, is you want to get a set of Lineman pliers. Next up, we're going to look at our ratcheting box wrench. There's a few different versions of this. Even myself on my belt, I've got two of these guys here. Difference is this guy here is a 4-in-1 and this guy here is a 2-in-1. If you do go with just buy one for now, guys. The important one to get is the one that has 3/4 and 9/16. This guy here has an alternate 1/2 inch on the other side with a 5/8, and of course where it does have the 4-in-1 option, you will have to use the toggle on this guy instead of simply flipping it around. So next up, you're going to want an adjustable wrench. This here guy is the 10-inch. Milwaukee has the 10-inch, the 12-inch, and the 15. You are going to want to pick up two of these. I suggest getting a 10 and a 12-inch. I just picked up the Milwaukee version of the adjustable wrench. It's got the size, the measurement right on the handle, and there's a whole lot less play in the adjustment on this guy. It's not supposed to slip either. Once you set your adjustment, put it back in your belt, rip it back out, you're not going to have to constantly adjust it. So I haven't used this guy a whole lot yet. Just quick first impressions on it. It runs super smooth and it really doesn't have much play in the adjustment on the head. So looking forward to trying that guy out. If you do only have one adjustable, not the end of the world, but make sure you do have a high leverage ratcheting wrench. Again, very important that you do have these sizes. These are for square nuts, the machine bolts you use to frame most poles that are on power lines. This guy's going to fit the nuts for those bolts. That's going to be the 3/4 inch nut, the 1 inch, and the 1 1/8 of an inch. Some of them have a 3/4 inch ratcheting wrench on the other end. It's up to you, matter of preference on that, but definitely get yourself a high leverage ratcheting wrench for those specific sizes. Next, you're going to want to pick up a skidding knife. A lot of guys carry the folding knives, which is great. You have it in your pocket for the day. How often do you guys say anyone got a knife? You've got one in your pocket. But be sure to get a fixed blade knife like this with the D-ring on the end for hot stick attachment. These lies being specifically designed for electrical work. The blade side and the ring side are not electrically connected. So if you're skinning a live wire with your rubber gloves on and you hit the handle on a neutral, it's not going to be a dead short. Next thing we're going to take a look at is you're going to want a measuring stick, not a tape measure with a metal piece that rolls up inside that's conductive. We've been using this particular brand for as long as I can remember, since I started 20 years back. Highly recommend them. They're pretty rigid, so if you have this fully extended, go, I believe it's 7 feet, you can shove it right straight up a pole and it's going to hold itself in place perfectly vertical. So pick yourself up a measuring stick, and last but not least, a flathead screwdriver, a large one. Some companies have what they specify as a lineman screwdriver. Funny thing is, you're going to use this for almost everything but a screwdriver. This guy here is the 5/16. You're going to be using this as a pry bar. You're going to be driving it into poles to pull your hand line up and over stuff. You're going to be jamming it into cross arms to keep a phase from taking off on a corner. Like I said, you're going to be using this for pretty much everything but a screwdriver. The lineman screwdrivers also have this hex pattern on the shaft. So if you do drive it into a pole, you can put your adjustable wrench on that and spin it around a couple times so you can get it back out of the pole after you're done. So one thing I did forget to mention on the ratcheting box wrench, these two ends from side to side, they're also insulated from each other. You can see a hole right through the middle. There's no metal connecting those two ends. So again, you're not going to short it out from end to end. And it is tested, rated for 1000 volts. One other thing I do want to mention is you're going to want a hand line, and you're going to want to have your hand line hung on a breakaway hook. We can kind of see that yellow hook right there. That's a breakaway hook, so that if that gets fetched up on something while you're on a pole, it's not going to rip you off the pole or try to. It's just simply going to snap that hook off your belt. Very important. And I did forget, as I swung the camera around there, that we have our hammer as well. And again, I know I've said this 10 times in the video, make sure you buy a Lineman hammer. You want something that's 32-ounce head on it, ball peen style hammer. You don't want to pick up a little guy that hammers nails to hang your pictures up in the wall at home. It won't last long. Sometimes you're going to be using this guy to drive in 5/8 lag bolts. Not so much anymore with lithium batteries, which is great, but 10 years ago we were using these guys a lot. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just grabbing all the rest of my gear here. But like I said, I wouldn't worry too much about buying your gear, getting new into the trade. However, if you do start up with a company and they tell you to show up with tools, that's what you're going to want to show up with. Once you get a little bit of experience, you see what the company does and does not provide, you can take a look. There's lots of other stuff you're going to use on a daily basis. You have a better idea of what to spend your money on. And as far as power tools are concerned, crimpers, cutters, stuff like that, don't worry too much about that until you show up and get a feel for what the company is going to help you out with and what you're responsible for buying on your own. That being said, there is one very important tool I did forget to mention, and that's because I did have this guy on my belt, which I was using to cut down some triplex. Use that guy all the time now when cutting wires. I almost don't use bolt cutters at all now, but it is important to have a set of bolt cutters on your belt as well. You're not going to be using your Lineman pliers to cut. Well, maybe 1/0 triplex, but definitely not 4/0 triplex. So you are going to want a larger set of cutters for that bigger wire until you can kit yourself up with some of the more expensive tools that will definitely make your life a whole lot easier. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. We're heading off to Kentucky at 4 a.m. on Monday. I'll try to get this posted up tonight, but I still do have about 6 other emergency calls after that storm, just some lingering trees and stuff. It's been crazy busy. I did capture some awesome footage of a real complicated tree cut. Probably gonna take me about 6 or 8 hours to edit that up. So I might throw a couple teasers out on Instagram of that job. But until next time, we'll see you guys all soon. For those of you that are gonna be at the Utility Expo, the 2023 Utility Expo in Louisville, Kentucky, I will see you there. Don't be shy to come up and say hi. Be safe, guys, and we'll see y'all soon.